What a finish. What a game. Game one last night in OKC. It's Halliburton at Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jay, OKC led, quite literally, the entire night. And early in the fourth quarter, when their defense turns into offense, as it always does, the lead was 15 points.
Well, actually, their defense didn't turn into a lot of offense, which was one of the key monikers to why Indiana came back in this game.
Indiana coming back. Obi Toppin would hit 5 huge threes. That one would cut it to 7. And then Miles Turner. Does this one count? Bank is open.
Call it.
He had 15. It's a 4-point game. 3 minutes to go. Andrew Nembhard hit 2 threes on this night, Jay, but they were both in this sequence and they were both huge.
Yeah, look, this is Kyrie Irving like dancing with the ball at the top of the key. Just clutch shots by him.
That one makes it 3 points. 20 seconds later, same score. Indiana probing a chance to get it within 1 or maybe to tie, and then it's Lou Dort playing defense, as he always does. SGA going the other way. Take it himself. He would score 38. The Thunder lead is 5 within a minute and a half. The game is over, right? Wrong. 1 minute to go. Pacers down by 3. Nembhard, no. Siakam, yes. He would score 19. It's a 1-point game, and now the other end we go. 20 seconds left on the night. Mike Breen, take us home.
Gilgeous-Alexander spins, pulls up, jumper. Off the mark, won't go. Rebound, Neesmith. The Pacers with a chance to win it. Final seconds, no fouls to give. Halliburton looking. Halliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 0.3 of a second remaining. TYRESE Halliburton does it again!
Incredibly, impossibly, with his dad looking on, the Pacers come from 15 down in the fourth quarter, and TYRESE Halliburton is the hero again. The Pacers steal, and that is the operative verb. They steal game one in unprecedented fashion. Look at this number. This had never happened. Teams trailing by 9 or more in the final 3 minutes of an NBA Finals game had never won. The Pacers can add a 1 to the beginning of that statistic after last night's frantic finish. Here was Halliburton after the game with Lisa.
TYRESE, just take me through that last possession. You guys didn't call timeout. Take me through the last game possession.
Yeah, man, we got to stop. And coach trusts us in those moments to not call timeouts. Trust me in those moments. Guys trust me, and just trying to make a play. So, man, basketball's fun, man. Winning is fun. That's a great win for us.
Oh, that would be the understatement. So the Twins are back with us, and Jay Will, what's the first thought you had when you saw that shot go in and that comeback complete?
That the Pacers didn't just win. Once again, they broke in basketball logic. This is now 4 playoff wins with less than a 2.1% winning probability that they've came back and won. Like, that's not improbable. That's statistically irrational. And when you actually think about it, I'm also ready to say this about this guy. TYRESE Halliburton is officially the most dangerous man in chaos. It just feels like he creates opportunities, whether that's 9 shots, whether that's 20 shots, he finds a way to put his imprint on the game and have impact when it matters the most. He didn't even look at the other people that are open on that play. You knew he was going to shoot the ball down the stretch.
Yeah, and Rick Carlisle, and you heard him allude to it right there. Rick Carlisle had told his team, there was a video review with about 20 seconds left, and he had told his team, if we get the stop, we're not calling timeout. We don't want them to set their defense. Go down there and find a bucket. And Marcus, that's exactly what they did with TYRESE Halliburton, who has become, in this postseason, as clutch as any player we've seen in a very long time.
Hey, Greeny, I just have to say this. Rick Carlisle is a hell of a coach. I know that we all know that, right? But the things that he do, the way that he has this team playing with so much confidence, even when you think the game is over, that has to take, you have to take your hat off to how Rick Carlisle has these guys running and together.
And how about Halliburton? I mean, Markeith, what do we say about him this morning? He did it in the first round, and he did it in the second round, and he did it to the Knicks in that game one, and now he does it again.
You can't say enough about this guy. I mean, literally over and over and over, he's defying the odds. Once we started talking about him being a superstar, his play has went through the roof. He's showing night in and night out. This is why I'm a superstar, and there is no debate right now why Halliburton is a superstar.
Take us through that final
Thank
moment
you.
there. Yeah.
Thank you. Finally,
Yeah.
you know, we're all finally coming on the same page.
Right.
I mean, superstar it's a relative term because you want to talk about the definition of a team effort. There were 6 Pacers who scored in double figures last night. None of them scored 20. It was as evenly distributed as could possibly be. And they did it the way they've been winning in these playoffs. We talked about it yesterday. They've been the best three-point shooting team in the NBA during this postseason. They shot 46% from 3 last night. So many of those in the fourth quarter when they needed them most.
Yeah, but, you know, I have to give them a lot of credit because also, look, they turned the ball over a ton in the first half, right? And everybody's going to talk about turnovers and the lack thereof conversion rate for OKC to turn those turnovers into points.
Right.
You know, but give Indiana so much credit, guys, on their transition defense. Yes. They were able to keep OKC from scoring off those turnovers, and that was pivotal in the first half. That's what kept the game close.
That Halliburton bucket is the only, or was the first time the Pacers had taken the lead in the game. They had not led until there were 0.3 seconds left on the clock. This is a team for which the game is quite literally never over. It's a cliche, but in their case, it happens to be true.
It's never over, but Greeny, to be honest, I think, like Indiana, I wouldn't say they didn't think they were going to win this game, right? I just wanted to see the competitive nature. I just wanted to see them compete. I wanted to see some holes in OKC's offense and defense, and I think that Indiana skipped up and won the game, right? But we've seen, this is the first time we've actually seen a team like expose OKC. They went to the small ball lineup that wasn't really effective with Indiana because they had Siakam at the center. And then all 5 guys can shoot the ball. I think that's where they have a lot of problems at. Every center they bring in, this floor is completely spread. They can't load up, which they've done well in the past against the Timberwolves with a guy like Anthony Edwards where they were loading up and they were playing the passing lanes. This time, Rick Carlisle has these guys moving and cutting. The ball is popping. It brings a lot of pressure on the OKC defense that's really good against man and loading up.
And you saw screens on Chet. They were attacking Chet Holmgren like it was their job.
Exactly.
Like downhill drive, turn face. He's late to recover. Obi Toppin knocks a 3. Off a sideline inbounds play, right? He sets a screen. Miles Turner head fake, steps over the side, splash.
Glass.
Like they made like 4, you call it whatever you want to call it, when the ball goes in, right?
Bang is
But they
open.
made 4 or 5 threes in that run that got them back in the game.
You know, right off the top of the game, the Thunder adjusted their starting lineup. Yeah. And Richard Jefferson was making the point right at the beginning. That's a psychological advantage for the Pacers, he thought. They're already adjusting to us. And now your brother is telling me that OKC, who we sort of talked about like they were invincible, that they maybe did find some things they could expose.
Yeah, for sure. I quite honestly, as a player, I don't like that either. I think that, you know, we want to see what happens before we adjust, not just show them something different right off back, because that usually happens game 2, game 3 down the line. So I think Indiana already showed that, and OKC already know that how dangerous Indiana is, right? And quite honestly, you can't play 2 bigs against Indiana with those guys popping and cutting, especially with how great Obi Toppin played, making 5 threes that game. It was a sequence in the fourth quarter where him and Miles Turner went back-to-back threes on that run that they made. So, yeah, I think it's a psychological thing, but I think it played in the Indiana favor.
I'm also going to say, look, SGA is going to do SGA-like things, right? But J-Dub didn't get going until late in the game. And also, Chet Holmgren had 6 points in this game. So what happens is when they can't generate half-court offense,